It is a busy Saturday-ish. Now, what I mean by that is that we have 11 games on Saturday, we have 9 games on Sunday. Now, it's Hockey Day in America, so the hockey is spread out. I'm going to try to get reviews done throughout the day so that it's not just this massive review at night, power rankings, and massive review or preview for Sunday as well. So basically, to try to avoid burnout's an overly done term. I'm not going to say I get burned out, but just to make it so that I'm not posting so late with the preview, I'm going to be trying to get some reviews up early-ish tomorrow and try to figure it out so that I'm not missing a bunch of hockey that's going on TV. So let's start things off with the trap game. I'm not putting up the Akbar Magnet again because Boston needs to figure this out. Boston's had problems with Detroit this year. Detroit's got 14 wins, 2 of them against Boston, and 3 of them against Montreal. So that's 5 out of 14 wins against their division rivals. Last 10, Detroit has 2 wins. So they're 2-8 in their last 10. On the road, they're 5-23-2. Boston, they're 35-11-12 in their last 10. They're 8-2-0. That's right, no overtime losses in their last 10 games. Home record is 22-9. November 8th, they lost in Detroit 4-2. February 9th, they lost in Detroit 3-1. The good news, they don't have to go to Detroit again for the rest of the season. So they're at home where their record's much better. And the next meeting these teams will have will be March 24th, also in Boston. So if Boston can win both games against the Detroit Red Wings, they help themselves greatly in terms of their playoff positioning. They do have to be concerned because Tampa's right behind him. Now, on the Detroit side, Hronek, 9 goals, 20 assists, leads their Blue Liners. Mantha, 31 games played, 12 goals, 15 assists, 27 points for Mantha, who's been solid since returning. Larkin, 15 goals, 25 assists for 40 points. And Athanasiou, who seems to be is he starting to score? 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points as we still wait for at least 20 goal level scoring from him. Bernier, 12-16-2 with a 908 save percentage. I expect to see him tomorrow against the Bruins. Howard's 2-21-2 with an 889 save percentage. So if they start Howard in this one and Bernier on Sunday, then they'll take the loss tomorrow, I would think, because look at Howard's record. That being said, maybe that's a trap in and of itself. Detroit fans are shaking their heads. Boston, Coyle, 12 goals, 19 assists, 31 points for him. Krejci, 13 goals, 26 assists, 39 points. Good depth there. Marchand, 23 goals, 48 assists, 71 points. And DeBrusk, 18 goals, 16 assists for 34 points. Tuukka Rask will be starting tomorrow. Halak starts on Sunday. There are 9 games Sunday, 11 games Saturday, meaning 20 games overall over 2 days. Rask, 21-5-6 with a 930 save percentage. He has not lost at home in regulation. Halak, 14-6-6 with a 921 save percentage. So overall, the numbers are pretty good for Boston. Just avoid falling into the trap again. Thank you. Next up, Nashville. In against St. Louis. And again, we kind of have to, continue on with things, even as troubling as it may be for St. Louis right now. And Nashville's not going to take it easy on them. Nashville fighting for their playoff lives. They're 27-22-7. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're 15-11-3 on the road. Better on the road than at home. St. Louis, they're 32-15-10 now. So they have 10 overtime or shootout losses. They're 2-5-3 in their last 10. It has been a really tough run for them. And they're 18-5-5 at home. So they're still first in the division. There's no need to panic. But at the same time, they're not as far ahead in their division as they were before this slide. And they need to get things together. Nashville's been a problem for them. November 23rd, they lost at home against Nashville 4-2. 2 days later, they go to Nashville, lost in a shootout 3-2. Their next meeting will actually be on Sunday in Nashville. So this is the first half of back-to-backs with the Nashville Predators. So this is a really big matchup for the St. Louis Blues and for Nashville. If Nashville can win both, right? Winnipeg lost tonight. Arizona doesn't look fantastic. Nashville could potentially jump into a playoff spot. Now, scoring for Nashville, Forsberg, 18 goals, 20 assists, 38 points. Smith, who's been on a tear, 16 goals, 11 assists, 27 points for him. Yossi, one of the top scoring defensemen in the league, 14 goals, 42 assists, 56 points. And Duchesne, still waiting on Duchesne to really kick it into gear. 11 goals, 24 assists, 35 points. In net, well, Rene, 17, 13, and 3 with an 895 save percentage. Saros, who I'm starting to see reports of, hey, is Saros the starter? Yeah, that's been the case for a bit here. He's 10, 9, and 4 with a 905 save percentage, but don't overthink it because Nashville could just as easily play Rene in their next 3 starts. St. Louis, Braden Shen, 20 goals, 26 assists, 46 points for him. Sanford, of course, no newsworthy. For the 4 goals in his last game, he's now got 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points. Pietrangelo, 13 goals, 33 assists, 46 points. And Vince Dunn, 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points. In net, Binnington, 24, 10, and 7, 909 save percentage. We'll see if they go with him or if they go with Allen. Probably Binnington because they're at home, and then Allen for the road game on Sunday, right? Allen's 8, 5, and 3 with a 925 save percentage. So I would think you go with Allen in the next game. But we'll see what they do. Next up, Philly. In against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And notice the start times. 1 o'clock Eastern, which is 10 a.m. Pacific. 3 o'clock Eastern, which is noon Pacific. Noon Pacific. This one's 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. So they're really spread out, which for watching games makes it somewhat easier, but for reviewing games, it gets a little trickier. So Philadelphia, 32, 19, and 7 now overall. Their last 10, they're 7, 2, and 1. On the road, they're 13, 14, and 3. Their road record's been getting better. This is a huge test of that. This is the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they are on fire. They're 38, 15, and 5. Yeah, last 10, they're 9, 0, and 1. They've won 9 in a row. Pretty good number. At home, they're 19, 7, and 2. That's a pretty good number, too. Really, in all honesty, all of them are good numbers, and they sit 1 point behind Boston for first in the entire National Hockey League. Yep, we're back. January 11th, in Philadelphia, Tampa won in a shootout, 1-0. Or shutout, 1-0. Sorry, I didn't mean shootout, meant shutout. And these teams meet again March 12th in Tampa. So, Philadelphia got their chance at home. Both of the other 2 meetings are in Tampa. Now, scoring for Philadelphia, this is going to be tested because Tampa Bay is not allowing goals anymore. Konechny, 19 goals, 28 assists for him, 47 points. Couturier, 17 goals, 34 assists, 51 points. Pitlick, good bottom 6 forward, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points for him. And Braun, who's started scoring, 3 goals, 13 assists, 16 points. Decent totals for him. Did they miss him in San Jose? I think they probably do, just a little bit. On the Tampa Bay side of things, did they miss him in San Jose? Yeah, I said San Jose. I'm making sure I didn't say Tampa. All right, Killorn, checks out. 21 goals, 21 assists for Killorn this year, 42 points. He's had a great year. Point, 20 goals, 35 assists, 55 points. He's picked it up. Yanni Gourde, 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points. It looks like Gourde's starting to get things running for him. And Kucherov, if he plays tomorrow, he's got 27 goals, 43 assists, 70 points. He's having an excellent run. He's not going to end up winning the scoring title. It's not a big deal to him right now. The more important thing is, do they get out of the first round? Do they have a shot at a Stanley Cup? That's the important thing for Tampa this year. Goaltending, Carter Hart will be the starter for Philadelphia. He's 17, 11, and 3, 908 save percentage. Elliott, 14, 7, and 4 with an 893 save percentage. On the Tampa side, Vasilevsky, I kind of expect him to start here, but it could be McElhinney. Vasilevsky's 31, 9, and 3 with a 921 save percentage. McElhinney's 7, 6, and 2 with a 913 save percentage. And his record has got better lately, so don't expect a win just because they put McElhinney in if that's the case. So I would be very surprised if Tampa doesn't win again. But that being said, Philadelphia has been very unpredictable. And they're excellent against top teams in the league. Next on the board is Edmonton in against Florida. They, of course, will be without Cassian. They will be without McDavid. There's some concern, and rightfully so, about Edmonton. They're 30, 21, and 6 overall. They're 6, 3, and 1 in their last 10. On the road, they're 15, 12, and 2. So those numbers overall, very good numbers, playoff numbers. Florida, also 30, 21, and 6. Not in the playoffs in the East. They're 4, 5, and 1 in their last 10. At home, they're 16, 11, and 2. So Florida has had their troubles lately, and so they're looking to get their way out of them. Now, we'll see if Bobrovsky starts tomorrow. He is rumored to be dealing with the flu, illness of some sort, so we'll see if he plays. There's a reason I don't report on guys with the flu, because it's just too many. Jujhar Khaira, 6 goals, 2 assists for the Oilers. We're going to need to find some goals and points from unexpected sources with the players that are out. Draisaitl, 32 goals, 58 assists for 90 points. It's insane. 90 points for Draisaitl. Ethan Bear, 5 goals, 13 assists on the blue line. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 15 goals, 27 assists, 42 points. He will be counted on for more scoring while we have some key guys out for the Oilers. Koskinen, 15, 11, and 2 with a .909 save percentage. Smith has been the better goaltender. He's 15, 10, and 4 with a .904 save percentage. His save percentage coming up. He has been the better guy. I would think you go with him here, but we'll see what they do. On the Florida side, Yandel, 5 goals, 36 assists, 41 points. Huberdeau, 20 goals, 49 assists, 69 points. Excellent season for him. And Tony Nato. And if you haven't watched Florida this year, and if you're an Oilers fan, you're going to hear Tony Nato's name a lot tomorrow. He does only have 4 goals, 7 assists, but he's a very prominent player for Florida. Trocheck, 8 goals, 24 assists, 32 points. I think they want more out of him. That being said, Florida's problem has not been goal scoring this year. Bobrovsky, 20, 17, and 5 with an .896 save percentage. That's troubling. Montembeault, 5, 2, and 1 with an .886 save percentage. Also somewhat troubling. Although, backup, not as much work. You don't read as much into it, but they do need some more from their goaltending than what they've had so far. That being said, it's time to change boards. All right, board number 2. And we are up to, San Jose and Minnesota. That checks out. San Jose, and again, they're not in the race for a playoff spot, but they've put up some decent wins recently, and they are playing spoiler well. They're now 25, 28, and 4. They're in against Minnesota, who will have Dean Evison behind their bench as coach. We'll see how that goes. San Jose's 4 and 6 in their last 10, and on the road they're 11, 14, and 3. So their overall record isn't great, and their road record isn't great, but it is better than what it was. Now for Minnesota, they're 27, 23, and 7. Their last 10, they're 6, 3, and 1. So despite firing their coach, they have been playing relatively well over the last month. Just they're not in a playoff spot. 17, 8, and 5 at home, and they will be looking to add to that with a win against San Jose. They need to jump on them early. San Jose played tonight. It was a very long game against the Jets, and rumor has it Jones will be starting for San Jose. So get some shots on Jones early, work on eroding his confidence a little bit early on, and see how things go. November 7th, these teams met. San Jose won that meeting 6-5 in San Jose. Did I cover? Let me take a look here. I did not cover that October 27th, Florida beat Edmonton 6-2 in Florida. I apologize for that in the Florida-Edmonton preview. I thought of that just now while I was looking at this. The next meeting that these two teams will have will be March 5th at San Jose. So we'll see in Minnesota's only game at home against San Jose how they do. Sorensen, 6 goals, 6 assists for San Jose. He was very prominent tonight. We'll see if he keeps that up tomorrow. This game will be on at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. Barclay Goodrow, 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points. Timo Meier, 19 goals, 19 assists, 38 points. And Melker Karlsson, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points for Melker. Nice to see him get a goal tonight, and I got to throw him into the preview because, of course, I do. Because he may very well get rented out at the deadline. We'll see what happens. Jones is 13, 17, and 2 with an .889 save percentage. Aaron Dell's 12, 11, and 2 with a .911 save percentage. On the Minnesota side, Donato, 11, 7, and 8. Or no, 11 goals, 7 assists, and 18 points. When you just get too many numbers going too quickly, it's easy to just go, and the goaltending numbers for Ryan Donato are, then your brain goes, goaltending numbers for Donato, are you serious? So, Foligno, 9 goals, 12 assists, 21 points for him. Right underneath Donato's 18 points. Suter, 7 goals, 32 assists for 39 points. And Jonas Brodin with a nice 2 goals, 22 assists, 24 points. That's a lot of 2s in there. So, good for him. Stalock, 14, 8, and 4 with a .908 save percentage. Dubnik's 10, 14, and 2 with an .893 save percentage. And depending on who you ask, Minnesota needs a goaltender or they don't. Whatever Minnesota needs, they are close to a playoff spot. The idea that the GM's looking at things and I'm just going to tear it down, that's not apparently what he's been saying to the players. He's telling them either you guys start winning or more guys are getting traded. So that doesn't sound like a rebuild in action to me. Next up is Dallas and Montreal. So we start the evening games here. So this is at 4 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. As is this one here, and then we get into the late games. So I'll probably try to fit in the review of the first 5 games in and around here somehow. Figure it out. Dallas 33-19-5 over their last 10. They're 6-3-1. So Dallas is getting it together, and on the road they're 16-10-3. Pretty solid overall numbers for Dallas, and they seem to be getting better. So for Montreal, we're coming off of a really tough loss in Pittsburgh tonight. They've got to shake that off really quickly because they're 27-26-7. They're 5-5 now in their last 10. They're 13-15-4 at home. The Montreal Canadiens went to Dallas on November 2nd and lost that one 2-1. So they're going to have to find some goals. They're going to have to find a way to score on. I'm thinking it's Bishop for this one, but it doesn't really matter. The numbers for both goaltenders are pretty darn good. Now on the Dallas side, Klingberg, 3 goals, 21 assists for 24 points. Janmark, 5 goals, 14 assists, 19 points. Rope Hintz, 17 goals, 11 assists, 28 points for him. And Sagan, who finally got a goal in his first in 18 games, 12 goals, 30 assists for 42 points. In net, Ben Bishop, 19-12-4 with a .924 save percentage. Hudobin, 14-7-1 with a .928 save percentage. So like I said, it really doesn't matter who they go with. Both goaltenders have 7 more wins than regulation losses. Both of them have excellent save percentages. It doesn't really matter. On the Montreal side, Suzuki, 12 goals, 25 assists for 37 points for him as he continues his excellent rookie season. Kovalchuk in 18 games with Montreal now has 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. And he's been held off the score sheet in their last 3 games. So I would be worried if I was a GM of another team whether or not Kovalchuk had this huge run at the start of his time with Montreal, and maybe that's over now. He had that at the start of his run last year with LA. He had that at the start of this season with LA as well. And then once the offense starts to dry up a little bit, it could be a challenge to get him back onto the score sheet. Armia, 14 goals, 13 assists for him for 27 points. Very prominent tonight. Didn't get a goal or an assist, but he's going to get them. Mete, 4 goals, 6 assists with an assist tonight. He got up to 10 points. Worthy of having on the board because with Weber out, he's one of the guys that has the very unenviable task of trying to somehow cobble together enough of a replacement. You're not going to have one guy replace Weber, so a bunch of guys have to work together to do it. Price, 24-21-4 with a .912 save percentage. Do they rest him because he played tonight? Or do you just play him as much as you can because you have to win every game from here? And Lindgren stays on the bench with a 1-3 record with an .880 save percentage. I'm not sure which way you go with that, and there hasn't been a confirmation one way or the other. Next up is Toronto and Ottawa. So this is Battle of Ontario. So on a day where we're having Hockey Day in America. That's the Vegas, part of the reason I wore the Vegas jersey. But Hockey Day in America and big day and all, you've got a nice Canadian battle here between Toronto and Ottawa usually does pretty well in these. Although this year, Ottawa's fallen short twice. So Toronto's got a record of 30-20-8 now. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. They're holding on to that last playoff spot in the Atlantic with all they've got, because if they lose that third place, they're likely not going to get a wild card berth. They're 15-12-1 overall, or on the road, I should say, to go with their 30-20-8 record overall. And so they've got 15 wins on the road, 15 at home. Equally good there. Ottawa, well, they're 19-27-11. They're much better at home than on the road. They're 3-4-3 in their last 10. They're 13-10-6 at home. And this is the first time they're going to see Toronto at home. Now, Toronto won this matchup October 2nd, 5-3. February 1st, Toronto won this meeting 2-1 in overtime. Both of those meetings in Toronto. The next meeting will be March 28th, also in Ottawa. So Ottawa could go a long way to helping to decide what Toronto's fate is. Because the East is so close, every game is that important. Now, scoring for Toronto. Hyman, who's been excellent. 17 goals, 14 assists, 31 points. Spezza, 9 goals, 12 assists, 21 points for him. Austin Matthews, tying for the lead in goals. 41 goals, 28 assists, 69 points. Tavares, 23 goals, 27 assists for 50 points. In net, it will be Jack Campbell, meaning Anderson's the backup. Anderson's 24-10-6 with a .909 save percentage. Campbell, including his numbers in Los Angeles, he's 10-10-3 with a .903 save percentage. His numbers are good. On the Ottawa side of things, Tkachuk, 17 goals, 15 assists for 32 points for him with Ottawa. Connor Brown, 10 goals, 25 assists, 35 points. He likely always enjoys playing against Toronto. White, 5 goals, 10 assists, as we've seen a bit of a slow season from him so far. Tierney, 10 goals, 19 assists, 29 points. And you ask yourself, how long is he going to be a Senator? Does he end up getting moved at the deadline? Do they keep him around? What's going to happen? There's that question surrounding a lot of Ottawa Senators right now. Goaltenders, I don't know who you go with. Like Hogberg? Sure. Anderson, 7-13-2 with an 899 save percentage. Nilsson hasn't played for a while. He's 9-9-2 with a 908 save percentage. Still injured at this stage. And Hogberg, 3-5-7. One of the most bizarre records in the NHL. 914 save percentage. Might I suggest Toronto wins in overtime against Hogberg, so his record's 3-5-8. Really confusing me the next time it's on the board, because it would look like 3 goals and 5 assists equals 8 points. Guarantee I messed that up. Because 3 and 5 don't equal 7, so it's easy for me to go he's 3-5-7. But 3-5-8, that's where the mix-up comes in. And so, yeah, Toronto wins in overtime or a shootout tomorrow. Sure, why not? And Hogberg loves going to overtime. That's his favorite thing. Next up is LA. So in the midst of all this in Hockey Day in America, you've got the stadium game. So Colorado is the home team technically in this one. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of fans of both teams for this one at Falcon Stadium. And it sounds like everybody's really excited about hosting this. There's a lot of prep work that's gone into it. And I was going to wear Colorado for this, but I thought, nah, I'll wait. Whoever wins the stadium game tomorrow, I'll wear the stadium jersey for them tomorrow night. For now, I'm going to leave it as it is. But there's a lot of hype about this game, and rightfully so. Now, I understand people might be like, well, LA's not very good. Doesn't matter. It's an outdoor game. The stadium games are always fun. And the fact that it's in a brand new location also makes it fun. Just like the Winter Classic was this year. So 20-33-5 is the record for the LA Kings. They're 2-8 in their last 10. On the road, they're 8-21-4. Road record, home record, does it matter for this? This is an outdoor stadium game. Anyways, for Colorado, they're 33-17-6. They're 8-2 in their last 10, so they've got the reverse record of the LA Kings. And they're 15-8-4 at home. The next meeting these teams will have will be February 22nd in LA. They meet again March 9th in LA. So the Los Angeles Kings play Colorado 3 times from here, meaning they could have a tremendous say in terms of which seeding position Colorado gets. So kind of nice to see that they can play spoiler and they can start tomorrow. And as a Dallas fan, I'd be okay with that. Dallas is 1 point behind Colorado. So fingers crossed that we have a nice, fun outdoor game. And if LA were to somehow seek out an upset victory, I might be okay with that. Matt Roy, 4 goals, 11 assists on the blue line for the LA Kings. Doughty, 6 goals, 22 assists for 28 points. He likely wants the season done. Iafallo, 15 goals, 18 assists for him. And Toffoli is still a king. 15 goals, 16 assists. Likely won't be a king 2 weeks from today. Quick, 11, 22, and 3 with an 895 save percentage. When it's an outdoor game like this, you have to go with Jonathan Quick. You have to go with the veteran goalie. It's just that's tradition, usually. Peterson's 1-1 with a 917 save percentage. He's looked pretty solid so far in his limited starts. Makar, 12 goals, 30 assists, 42 points. Likely still going to be your Calder winner. Act surprised. Nichushkin, 11 goals, 12 assists, 23 points. He's been excellent for them the last, I want to say, 30 games especially. McKinnon, 32 goals, 48 assists, 80 points. He's 10 points behind Draisaitl. He's not going to catch Draisaitl, but I'm guessing he's going to make it interesting. Rantanen, 19 goals, 20 assists, 39 points in, I believe, 40 games. So he's almost a point a game this year, considering coming back from injury and everything else that's gone on with him this year. That's a pretty solid number. Grubauer, 18, 12, and 4 with a 915 save percentage. That's been getting better. Francouz will likely be riding the pine. Again, you start your veteran goaltender for a game like this. Francouz is 13, 4, and 2 with a 925 save percentage. And I would hope they use him a ton down the stretch because I like Francouz. I think he's a good goaltender. That being said, I do need to change boards a second time. Well, Chicago's in against Calgary, and this is a matchup between two teams that have won 4 out of their last 10. For Chicago, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive as some of the other teams that they're competing with are struggling. For Calgary, well, they're one of those teams that's been on and off struggling lately. So they need to come up with a big result tomorrow night against the Chicago Blackhawks, who have already won a game in Calgary this year. So they're not worried about playing in Calgary. The Hawks are 25-24-8. Over their last 10, they're 4-4-2. On the road, they're 12-12-4. So their record is taking a bit of a hit. And of course, they're not going to be happy coming off of the results they've had so far in Western Canada. Calgary's 30, 20, and 23 and 6. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10. Likely very happy with the win over Anaheim. Upset with the loss to LA. Those are the ones that cost you later on. They're 13-10-4 at home. December 31st, Chicago wins in Calgary 5-3. On January 7th, Calgary returns the favor by winning in Chicago 2-1. So the road team has won both games. Does Chicago make it 3 out of 3? We'll see. Ole Mata may have something to say about that. He's got 4 goals and 11 assists so far on a blue line that I think sometimes gets underrated for Chicago. Kubalik, they allow too many shots to say they're really underrated. Kubalik, 22 goals, 11 assists, 33 points. Very dangerous goal scorer. David Kampf, 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points for him. And Patrick Kane, 25 goals, 44 assists, 69 points, as he has another excellent season. Robin Lehner, 15-9-5 record with a .921 save percentage. Crawford, 10-15-3 with a .911 save percentage. Overall, their goaltending numbers have been good this year. What they do with their goaltending still remains to be seen. We're not that far from the deadline, and we have no idea what's going to happen. It's a week from Monday. Isn't that exciting? So, Calgary. Brody, 1 goal, 15 assists, 16 points for him. Backlund, 10 goals, 21 assists, 31 points, as his offense has been better lately. Lucic, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points, and he's been waking up offensively. Where did that come from? Lindholm, 25 goals, 21 assists, 46 points for him. Another solid season for Lindholm in Calgary. Riddick's 22-15-5 with a .910 save percentage. Talbot's 8-8-1 with a .924 save percentage. Honestly, Talbot should be getting more starts right now as they need victories, and he does have the better numbers. Talbot is outplaying Riddick right now. I would go with Talbot in this game. I don't know what they'll do, but that's likely what I would do. All right, next up is Washington in against Arizona. So Ovechkin stuck on 698 goals. Cue the talk again, as we've got 3 games here that will start at, well, there's 2 that start at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, and then there's one that starts at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. This is why I want to get that review up for at least a couple of the afternoon games, because the review for the late games will start very late indeed. Now, for Washington, they're 37-15-5. They did win their last game, so they definitely have played better already on the road than they were at home. They're 6-4 in their last 10, and on the road they're 21-6-1. That's an insane record. Whereas Arizona, they're 28-24-8. In their last 10, they're a woeful 2-5-3, and at home they're 13-11-4. The last time these teams met was November 11th in Washington. Arizona won that one in a shootout, 4-3. So, Arizona needs a big game tomorrow, and they need to make sure that Ovechkin doesn't get goal number 700. Scoring on the Washington side, Orlov, 3 goals, 20 assists for him. Backstrom, 11 goals, 34 assists, 45 points. Nobody's talking about Backstrom. It's all Ovechkin, so I figured I'd put Backstrom up there. Eller, 14 goals, 21 assists, 35 points. And Karlsson, 15 goals, 54 assists, 69 points. As I've been saying during the year, I don't think that he hits 100 points this year because it's really tough for a defenseman to hit 100 points. But 90's doable, and he should win the Norris. Goaltending, Holtby really saved his bacon with that start against Colorado. He's 21-11-4 with an .896 save percentage. And Samsonov, 16-4-1 with a .917 save percentage. You can start Samsonov here. He does have the good road record. Now, on the Arizona side, Schmaltz, 8 goals, 32 assists for 40 points. Dvorak, very close to 20 goals. He's got 17 to go with 18 assists for 35 points. Goligoski, 4 goals, 24 assists, 28 points. And Garland, almost at 20 goals. He's got 19 goals, 14 assists, 33 points. Keep in mind, they don't have a 20-goal scorer yet, and they didn't have one at all last season, so they're looking to change that narrative. Ranta, 11-13-3 with a .915 save percentage. Any chance of Kemper? No chance of Kemper. He's 15-8-2 with a .929 save percentage. I put Kemper up there just in case. Just in case. But of course, Kemper had that setback and when they're not talking about it, that makes it even worse. So, again, their playoff hopes may ride on whether or not Kemper's able to come back. And yet, they're currently above the playoff line, but there are some concerns right behind them. So, we'll move on from that to the last game of the night, which is the Islanders in against Vegas. And again, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. The Islanders, 33-17-6 overall over their last 10. They're 5-3-2. And they're a mixed bag. They and Philadelphia are the teams right now that's like, I don't know what I'm going to get from one night to the next. I have no clue. We'll see. 15-10-2 on the road. So the road record's pretty good. Vegas, coming off of that thrilling victory over St. Louis. They're 29-22-8 now. Over their last 10, they're 5-3-2. Same record as the Islanders. At home, they're 15-10-4, which is virtually identical to the road record of the New York Islanders. So while they sit 6 points behind the Islanders in the overall standings, the other numbers are pretty close. December 5th in New York, the Islanders won that meeting 3-2 in overtime with Vegas, so they were close. We'll see how it goes tomorrow night. Pulock, 7 goals, 22 assists for 29 points for the Islanders. Beauvillier's been amazing lately. 17 goals, 19 assists for 36 points. Devon Taves, 5 goals, 17 assists, 22 points for him. Nelson, 21 goals, 24 assists, 45 points for a team trying to bounce back from a 5-0 loss against Nashville the other night. Varlamov, 17-9-4 with a .915 save percentage. He should be starting. Greiss started the last game, didn't finish it. Greiss is 16-8-2 with a .916 save percentage. So both save percentages have come down. It does seem to be adversely affecting the team overall, and we'll see if that happens tomorrow against a Vegas team that we know can score. On the Vegas side, Stevenson, 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points. He's been excellent since coming over from Washington. Theodore, 8 goals, 31 assists, 39 points. He's already set a career high in points. Every point he gets from here is just gravy. Marchessault, 20 goals, 20 assists, 40 points. All he does is get points. It's not too bad. Pretty good way to make a living. Alex Tuch, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points. His offense seems to be waking up as well. Fleury should play tomorrow. Subban played their last game. Fleury's 21-14-5 with a .904 save percentage. Subban, 8-7-3 with an .893 save percentage. So Subban's numbers overall kind of shaky. We'll see if Vegas does something at the deadline. It doesn't look like it. This is their third year now with Subban as the backup, and there hasn't really been any appetite to really spruce things up at all. So when we look at the races right now, Boston has 82 points. They're one ahead of Tampa, so tomorrow we could see Tampa go to first overall. The Capitals are at 79 points for first in the Metro. Penguins at 76 for second. The Islanders, 72 points. Of course, Toronto is 68 points. They are 13 points behind Tampa, so it's highly unlikely they get home ice in the first round. And if Tampa passes Boston, you don't want to think about it. The wildcard spots, both belonging to the Metro, Philadelphia and Columbus, both with 71 points. Philadelphia has the lead right now because they have a game in hand. The Carolina Hurricanes are 2 points back with 69. The Panthers, 66 points. They're 5 points back of Columbus, but only 2 points back of Toronto. So Toronto's their target, not Columbus. The New York Rangers, 64 points. They're within 7 points of a playoff spot. They're not out. The Montreal Canadiens are now 10 points back. They've only got 22 games left. That, to me, says they're pretty much done. The Sabres, 11 points back. The New Jersey Devils, 19 back. The Ottawa Senators were up to 22 points back. And Detroit, if you double their points, they're the Rangers. So, there you go. Out west, we've got St. Louis with 74 points. They're 2 points clear of Colorado, 3 points clear of Dallas. That is a tight top three. But Vancouver with 69 points. They're idle tomorrow. They will watch as both Edmonton and Vegas try to get within 1 point of them, both of them with 66 points. Calgary has 66 points as well, and the Coyotes have 64. So that is 5 points separating the top 5 teams in the Pacific. And tomorrow night, it could be as little as 3 separating all 5, 1 separating the top 4. It's insane. The Jets, 63 points. They blew a chance tonight to move ahead of the Coyotes. The Predators, 3 points back of Arizona. They have a chance to tie the Jets tomorrow night. And I'm pretty sure they still have games in hand on teams in front of them. Minnesota, only 3 points back with 61. The Blackhawks, 6 points back. Need to get on a winning streak here. San Jose, 10 points back. So, as bad as things look, 10 points back, it's pretty bad. The Anaheim Ducks, 11 points back. And the LA Kings are 19 points out of the playoffs. So there you go. You guys are all set for tomorrow's action. Let me know your winners and all of that in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.